Hello and welcome to another update from AQA. It's good news. Last week I released this video on their last update and predicted that they wouldn't listen to teachers. And I'm delighted to say I was partly wrong. So what's happened now that's different from last week is that now the poetry anthology is no longer compulsory. You will have to be examined on 2 out of these 3, and you can choose the best ones. However, Shakespeare will still be compulsory, which is just what was true before, and the unseen poetry questions will also be compulsory. So if you type Mr. Salles how to answer unseen poetry into YouTube, you'll find that I have a massive range of approaches, and I would most recommend the FOSS method. Check that out. It's a really guaranteed way to give you top marks. You can see that demonstrated in an essay, so you understand how that works. I've tried loads of methods over the years to make it really easy to understand, and this is my top one that guarantees you grades 7 to 9 if you can do it, and you can do it. Now, the other reason I think you ought to watch those videos is you can see that the marks for the poetry comparison and the unseen poem essay now count for much more of your overall grade. In this box, there were another 30 marks available. Now you can see what paper 1 will look like and what paper 2 will look like, and you will no longer have that massive 2 hours and 15-minute exam. Instead, both exams look like they will be 1 hour and 45 minutes long. There are 32 marks in section B, which suggests that there might be an extra 4 or 5 minutes on paper 2, but they're going to be much easier to do in terms of managing your time. That, of course, is bad news, because it means many more students will be able to finish the exam properly, which again raises the importance of the 32 marks available for unseen poetry. Now, I am a little bit worried about how this will play out in schools. AQA have actually done a really decent job here. They say they'll be asking schools which option students will be taking when schools notify the examining board on the 21st of February. So that means you have until the 21st of February to convince your teachers of the 2 texts you want to study. Now, can you actually choose which ones to study? Well, AQA says yes. Here we have in yellow, teachers will be able to pick different options for different students if they like. There's no need to choose a single option for everyone unless teachers want to. Teachers are conservative people. They don't like to take risks with your results. Well, that's great, unless you're a student who's passionate about doing one of the options that the rest of the class or the majority of the class are not doing. Now, my experience of teachers is that they will therefore need a lot of convincing if you want to do something different. And I suggest you come up with a plan. If you know that your class are not going to answer the poetry question, for example, but you want to do the poetry anthology, then you're going to have to put in some practice essays to persuade your teachers. Now, in theory, you could wait until the moment of the exam to decide and just pick which 2 of these 3 you wanted to answer. You can teach yourself using YouTube and guidebooks and not do the questions that your teachers want you to answer, but obviously that again is quite a high-risk strategy. It's going to be much better for you to get the support of your teacher. So to do that, if you want to study a text that the teacher isn't doing with the rest of the class, you're really going to have to make an effort to study it yourself and then start doing some exam-style essays to give to your teacher to show them what a committed, motivated learner you are. This has made me think actually that I should prepare an unseen poetry comparison and essay guide. Why didn't I think of that before? See you soon on my channel.